Well, YouTube, hello. It is officially the first YouTube video of 2024. And as a welcome back to my channel, I'm going to do a calisthenics session. So I'm just gonna honestly take you guys through what I do in a calisthenics session with a little bit of explanation, commentary, and I don't know, hopefully you guys find it to be helpful. So I typically will do 3 calisthenics sessions a week, a chest focused one, abdominals, and then shoulder focus. So for right now, since I'm gonna be doing more abdominals, but maybe a little bit of a shoulder strengthening, but more so some quad work or lower body work. For right now, I'm just warming up my wrists. I typically do that in the beginning of most calisthenics sessions, and that's just because I'm trying to improve my wrist mobility so that way I can eventually do a handstand, and then focusing on just strengthening my fingers. So that's typically what I do to warm up. Then I'll go into some quadruped shoulder taps, just to again try to increase the strengthening of my wrists, really trying to grab the floor with my fingers. Fun fact, I wasn't actually going to film today because I friggin' kinked my neck and I can barely turn my neck to look at the camera right now. But I have found a lot lately that I just wake up with something sore. I'm 34 and maybe that is why, but every time I wake up it's like, oh, my knee is sore today. Oh, my shoulder is killing me. And today it's my neck. So there's always something going on, no matter how much you take care of yourself, where you can't use it as an excuse not to do YouTube videos. Otherwise, we would never do YouTube videos. So now that my wrists are warmed up and because of how my neck is doing, I'm gonna start off with just some hollow bodies. Anybody who is well immersed in the calisthenics world, feel free to critique any of my form and technique. I'm honestly just documenting my calisthenics training for people to see. I'm not claiming that I'm an expert in this field. I'm an expert when it comes to bodybuilding, strength training, and resistance training. Calisthenics, not my area of expertise. Maybe it will be someday. So this is just more so me documenting my journey, my progress with it. So hollow bodies, I come down, keep my legs together. I'm gonna lift them up, have my hands overhead, and head off the ground. And I can barely talk when I am doing this. But I have found that I can typically hold hollow bodies anywhere from 30 to 45 seconds. So we're not doing too bad. Typically you want to get closer to around 60 seconds, but we'll get there one day. Lately I have found that by squeezing my glutes, it helps just drive my lower back into the ground. I know you probably can't see it with my sweater, but really making sure that that back is not arching at all. Oh, that's one set. Maybe you guys can see that a little bit better. Okay. Doesn't feel like it, but man, these are getting so much easier. Oh, fuck, that's it. So the structure of my calisthenics days really has been based around what I'm trying to accomplish. As of right now, the things that are on my vision board is to be able to do a handstand, a muscle up, a dragon pistol squat, and maybe in a few years, the human flag. So those are kind of the four big movements that I've been trying to learn, but you can't just jump into those specific movements if you haven't taken the time to focus on functional strengthening, and I haven't. So doing things like the hollow bodies, like L-sits, and really just taking the time to strengthen and master the fundamentals of those given movement patterns is what is going to eventually allow me to do some of those cooler movement patterns. So a lot of the things that I'm doing right now really aren't all that exciting. We're slowly getting there. I think one of the coolest things that I've been able to do lately is L-sits and air walks. I'll show you the air walk shortly, but with the L-sits, I have an old video of me trying to do it from yoga blocks, and I haven't been able to do it from the ground yet, but we'll get there. But I finally have figured out how to do them on the yoga blocks, so that part's pretty cool. Can only maybe do about 3 sets of 10, so let's go ahead and do a set here. I won't be able to talk through this though, at all. Whew, it doesn't look like a lot, but damn, that was pretty cool. When I first was able to get lift off of the ground, I remember in the video, I'll try to overlay it, I was pushing myself up and I wasn't strong enough to get my feet and glutes off the ground. And I remember like kind of going up like this and I just couldn't figure it out. I kept practicing. I would elevate one leg, elevate the next leg, elevate one leg and one butt, elevate the other leg and one butt. And eventually, just at the gym, I gave it a try and boom, we had liftoff. I haven't rested long enough to do another set. But it was a really cool moment because I spent maybe over 2 months. I know that doesn't sound like a lot of a time, but it felt like a long time for me in this given movement pattern. I spent over 2 months frustrated yet obsessive to master that movement pattern. And then one day it just clicked in my body where I didn't even like do anything differently. I didn't change up my technique. I just one day had the strength available and my body was like, okay, we recognize this movement pattern. Obviously the adaptation was generated and we had liftoff, and it was a really cool moment because it allowed me to see that even though I feel frustrated sometimes with a lot of this training, I still am able to make progress even if you don't always see that progress. Do another set here. Oh, fuck. Woo, it's so fun. I don't know about fun, but you know. So we're gonna move on to air walks here. Fun fact, I can't jump like hen, but I'm a little afraid of jumping since I ruptured my Achilles. I know that was like over 3 years ago. Most people don't get it. The people who have gone through the injury, you get it. You don't really go back to doing the movement that caused the injury in the first place. I'll get there eventually, but for right now, I'm gonna elevate myself so I can grab on. Holy cow. This neck kink is not fun. But before we do the air walks, I know like not a lot of people following this channel or people who have followed me for a long time really have any interest in learning about calisthenics themselves. That's not why I'm sharing this. I'm sharing this journey because it can be transferable, the skills of being patient and consistent in other areas. When it comes to your health and fitness related goals, right? We all have those moments, say you're trying to lose body fat, where we get frustrated that we haven't lost fat quick enough, or we feel like fat loss isn't occurring. Just because we don't always see it on the scale doesn't mean that fat loss isn't occurring. And if you are staying consistent and putting in those daily deposits, the fat loss is gonna eventually occur. And that was kind of a amazing moment for me when I got the L-sits, because I didn't do anything differently. I just stayed consistent and I trusted not only the process, I trusted my work. And by doing that, I saw the results that I was looking for. And let me tell you, once I actually saw those results, the timeline didn't matter anymore. So that's why I share this with you guys. And I want to continue to share it with you guys because I think you can relate it to what you're going through in whatever your health and fitness related goals are, whether it be body composition changes, fat loss, strength gains. Maybe you're on your own calisthenics journey, whatever the case may be. Putting in the work and trusting not only the process, but your work as well, you're gonna see those results. I promise you that. Okay, so my neck's killing me. We're gonna do some air walks and then we'll finish off today's session with some pistol squats. Okay, so air walks have been fun. Really like patting your stomach, rubbing your head, rubbing your stomach, patting your head type of movement pattern. So it's kind of fun though, but anyways. So really just trying to pull myself up with each step and making sure that my feet are completely flat like this to make it look like I'm actually walking, right? Pulling myself up. So this one's been really a lot of fun, but I can only maybe do about 2 or 3 reps before I need a break. And it's not because I'm tired from the pull-ups. I'm actually pretty strong at pull-ups. It's holding the L-sit position when you slowly come back to the starting position. That's what gets me. My abs, oh man, they are weak. Boy, has calisthenics shown me how weak my core truly is. Okay. Oh, don't want to swing. I didn't get one more step. Okay, one more. Oh, that's it. Well, before this video gets too long, because I don't know, hopefully my rambling has been helpful, we're gonna do some pistol squats. Before I do that, and same thing with my wrists, I always try to warm up my calves, my dorsiflexion, my Achilles. So I typically will come down onto a bench, drive my knees over my toes, and really warm up that range of motion. So maybe about 3 to 5 reps, just going through that range. And we'll switch sides. My right side's really good. My left side, I know again, 3 years here, but that's the injured side from when I ruptured my Achilles tendon. Still gives me a hard time. This calf is still 1 inch smaller than my right calf. Super frustrating. However, we don't let it hold us back. We just have to make sure that we are very diligent with warming it up. So once I do that on both sides, I'll do it again. But this time, I'm gonna pull myself into the bench and just hold it for a couple seconds, come back out, go forward, pull myself into the bench, just hold it for a couple seconds. One more time. All right, let's switch sides. Come forward, pull myself in, come out, forward, pull myself in. One more time. All right. So that's typically does the trick. Then after that, on the bench, that's when I'll go on this side here. Hopefully you guys can see me, yep. Start doing just some one-legged squats here with the bench for support. Just to make sure that my balance is good, things feel good before we go through a full range of motion. Other side. Whoa, left side. Balance sucks. So I know it's not quite ready yet, but that's okay. That's why we warm up, friends. Okay. Whew, that feels pretty good. So one little additional movement that I do before I do more pistol squats, or before I start pistol squats, I'll go through this sequence, if you will. Little T fitness on Instagram. I got this from her. Shout out to Taylor. She has some really amazing calisthenics movements and different types of movement patterns, not only to help you warm up, but just increase your mobility. So I've been adding this in before I'll do my working sets, and I find it's just a nice transition into doing actual pistol squats. Whoa. Okay, other side. That's fun. I like that. Typically we'll do like maybe 1 or 2 before we jump into our working sets. Feeling pretty good, so we're gonna go ahead and do it. Normally, people will tell you to start with your weaker side, which is my left side, and always do your stronger side second. For myself, I find that mentally, just for this movement pattern, for other movement patterns, I typically will start with my weaker side, like if I'm doing bicep curls, like unilateral work with resistance training. But for whatever reason, mentally, I just feel more warmed up when I'm focusing on doing my stronger side first in comparison to doing my weaker side first. So it's not a right or wrong thing to do it that way. I just find that I can work into it a little bit easier when I do my weaker side after. All right. It's not bad. The weirdest thing with pistol squats is I find that on my last set, and I typically do 3 sets of 5 to 7, I always find that my last set is way better than my first set. Don't know why. It's the only exercise that I have found that to be the case. No idea. Interesting though. Okay. Whew. Whoa. Who needs heavy squats? Jesus. If you just do these, you are set, my friend. I swear. Wish I learned these a long time ago. Yep, that was my knee. 34 is fun. Doesn't hurt, I swear. Sounds horrible though, if you guys can even hear that. All right, let's do one more. Oh man. I just did these yesterday, so don't judge me too hard here, okay? So that's typically what a calisthenics day looks like for me. I do tend to do either some push-ups to strengthen my chest, or some sort of pike push-up variation when it comes to shoulder strengthening. But guys, this neck kink is no joke, so we have to table that for today. But I hope you guys enjoyed the first video back to YouTube. I'm excited to just document a little bit more my training. So I'm hoping to do either a calisthenics training session and or resistance training session with you all a little bit more frequently on the YouTube channel. Don't worry though, I will be sticking to the regular educational content where we'll be discussing various health and fitness related tips to help you accomplish and optimize your health and fitness related goals. So thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. I'm gonna leave it there and see you guys in the next one.